with our values than Donna Brazile's, and I know you know her resume. I will not do that because our great state representative Tracy Heard and our next Lieutenant Governor Yvette Mcgee-Brown will be talking in just a minute, and I want to share just a few thoughts, if I could, about what is happening here and what you're seeing around us right now. Every week we are doing nearly 100,000 dials from 18 call centers around the state of Ohio, averaging about 3,000 doors that we knock a week. We expect both of those numbers to pick up significantly in the weeks ahead. I heard from my good friend Bruce Weingard, and I think his president, Eddie Parks, is here. Is Eddie here?
Yeah,
Eddie is here. One of my colleagues from AFSCME sits on the International Executive Board with me, and Bruce Weingard from his staff told me this morning that he heard an NPR story today that said that the race in Ohio had really moved to dead even, and Bruce informed me that the pollsters who discussed why on the radio said that it was clearly because of the way that organized labor in Ohio is moving the numbers. Right. That fact was confirmed this morning by the governor's chief of staff, John Hazley, who many of you know, who told me that labor's numbers in Ohio are the fastest moving constituency of any group in the state. So that's the work that these folks are doing, Donna. And having said that, without further ado, we have three wonderful, strong, smart women. I have to just make a little note about Yvette, because I said this in Cleveland at an event up there where I had the honor of being with Yvette just a few months ago. And I said that I think since the day that I got down on one knee and proposed to my wife, I don't think a guy has made a better decision about a woman than and obviously you all know our great state representative Tracy Heard, who is just a without further ado, I want to turn the floor over to her.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here today, and I know that you're not here. As much as I love you all, I know it's really about the ladies who are with me today. Excuse me. First, I'm going to introduce to you, I'm going to introduce them both simultaneously. Yvette Mcgee-Brown. I have the illustrious honor of introducing two women that I truly, truly admire and aspire to be one day when I grow up. I have known Yvette since she was a judge and watched her progression professionally. I was one of the people that lobbied hard to get her on Livingston Avenue when she launched the Center for Child and Family Advocacy. And her commitment to our community, to children, to the underserved is well known throughout and has been Central Ohio for a long time. I'm really glad that the rest of Ohio is having a chance to be introduced to her and to understand how important she is going to be as an ally to our governor, as his lieutenant governor, when she steps forward. And we have a very special guest with us today. And I'm trying really hard not to be a groupie. You know, I probably almost got arrested at the 2008 convention out in Denver, because for any of you that were there, you know, they had like this circle where, you know, all of the journalists were sitting and just kind of giving the blow by blow, you know, and Donna Brazile was in there. And I was sharing with her as we were walking in here, I kind of have a talent for getting into places that I'm not supposed to, you know. It didn't quite work that night. Unfortunately, I was allowed to get out without being in handcuffs. But it was all about Donna. And I can't imagine there's anyone in here that doesn't know, but she is a lifelong political activist. And I didn't know this story before today, but when you were 9, was it when she was 9 years old, was when she worked on her first campaign, and with a purpose. The candidate had promised a playground, and so she committed to the campaign, and the candidate committed to the playground, and both were delivered. involved in politics. So that's kind of where it all began for her. And she's worked in every single presidential campaign since 1976, which is huge. Was the first female campaign manager for Al Gore Boy.
For a presidential candidate?
Yes, for a presidential candidate in this country, which is really huge. Girl power. And if you know anything about politics, I'm sure that you have enjoyed watching her take on the opposition.
Yes.
There are very, very few in her league that are that smart, that savvy politically, and have that much courage. And it's just very entertaining to watch her do everything. So with no further ado, our next Lieutenant Governor, Yvette Mcgee-Brown.
Part of the reason we're moving up with labor is because we have the best labor leader in the country. We'll put you up against anybody in the country. So.
And I'll go up again.
You know, I know you can feel it, that the tide is changing. Can you feel it? Our internal polls say that we are 4 points up. That you guys are putting in, going door to door, calling people on the phone. Did you watch the debate last night? Was our governor fabulous? And you know what? I don't know if you saw this, but you know, sometimes you hear about internal polls and you think, oh, they're just trying to say that to keep us encouraged while we're in the campaign. But we know that their polls are saying the same thing because John Kasich pulled together this press conference Monday that was the most disjointed awfulness that I've ever seen. He didn't really have anything to announce, and he started trying to go back like, I promise you Ted Strickland's going to raise taxes. He was so flustered. He knows that he's behind in the polls, so I know that their internal polls are saying the same thing as ours. And at the debate last night, he just seemed angry to me. He just seemed angry. And so what I want to say to you, first of all, is thank you. We have 25 days to go. I know that you know what's at stake here, but understand this, Ted and I are working hard. We're going to match you in every bit of sweat equity. I'm headed to Cincinnati where he and I are going to meet up and do some things tonight. But you have to know that this election is won because of you. Boots on the ground, door to door, calling people. Don't surrender any vote because I know on November 2nd we're going to be standing up there with a victory, and it will be because of you. And so you are our partners. You know you have a seat at the table. You always will with Ted and I. And the one thing that I know I don't have to convince you of is Ted and I have never forgotten where we've come from. We're going to be by your side fighting. Likes to say, he quotes President Obama, and he likes to say, you know, if you got an ounce of fight left in you, we've got a ton of fight left in us. So we are on to this thing. Let me introduce to you Donna Brazile. She just spoke at a luncheon where she was fabulous, and I'll let you give her unique political view. But I told her, I've been a groupie, I've been stalking her since about March. But the one thing I would say to all of you, beyond her professional bio, you know, she's an author, she's run political campaigns, she's a commentator, but she's also a real sister. And she is somebody that when I reached out to her, immediately responded. She didn't know me from Adam, and she started sending me emails, responding to my questions. And so when you see somebody who gets to the heights that she is, but who is still willing to reach back and help somebody else, she is the real deal. We need more real voices like her in this country, and so I'm pleased to present her to you, Donna Brazile.